Welcome back, everyone. Happy New Year's Eve. How we doing? Good morning. Margin, as always. Larry, Rad Dad, Nomits, Robert, Ponzi, Golf Nut. Morning, sir. Vincent, Ruco. Good name there, Vincent. I like that name. Terry, good morning. Brandon, Chef, good morning. Thanks for the tweet this morning, Chef. Appreciate that, brother. Golf Nut again. David, what's going on, guys? Welcome back. Welcome. Mark the Shark, Dirty Bird. What's up, guys? Last stream of the year. Yeah, crazy. Crazy. We did pretty good on YouTube this year. Let's go ahead and look at some stats on YouTube. I don't really care if sharing this. You guys know that people make money on this, so. Where's the year to date? 2024. Yeah, I think we did pretty good this year. So, here's my YouTube stats. If anyone's, I know everyone's interested. We've got 3 million views. We got 3 million views this year. Wow. Pretty crazy. Adds up very quickly. So, thank you guys for that. Appreciate that. 3 million views on YouTube. That's pretty awesome. Versus 2023, we had 2.4 million. So, we got about, what did we get? Got about 29% more this year, so that's good. We're in the green. Watch time hours, 700,000 hours of people watching videos. That's crazy. Subscribers, 20,000.6 subscribers. 20,600 subscribers. Last year was 15,000, so we're moving up. And all of that equates to around $47,000 of revenue. So I think probably less than you thought. You guys think that, I think a lot of people think you get paid a shitload to do this. I mean, it's a nice amount. You can't really live off that. But I think we put in probably, considering how many hours I put in to do this, it's probably right about on average of a normal paying job, really. If you go back and think about the hours I spend creating content, doing the live streams, preparing for the live streams, all that good stuff, it's probably just about an average job, right? So it's not like getting rich over here making YouTube videos. But it's a nice, it's a nice amount. It's a good, it's a good side income, basically. So that's that. What did we make last year? 40K last year. So yeah, I'm right around that 40, 50 grand. Yeah, it's what you make it a 9 to 5. That's, I mean, trust me, man, I probably put in the same amount of work to make that amount, to be honest. So it just, I guess it depends what you want to do. I mean, guys, creating content's not that fun, okay? It's not all, I don't just sit here with rainbows and butterflies around me, loving, sitting in front of this computer for hours every day. It's not like, sometimes I would rather be out there talking to people and working a job, to be honest. I'm sitting in this office. It is what it is, right? But there you go, guys. That's that. There's my stats for YouTube. Great year. Thank you guys for all the support this year. Yeah, I really appreciate it. And it's been a pretty awesome year. So 2025, man. 2025. So that's that. We're gonna wait to do the P&L for the year later in the stream. We're gonna wait to get more people on the stream before we do that. So just know that that's gonna come a little bit later. So you're gonna have to stick around to the stream if you want to see that. Gonna make you get those watch time minutes to review that P&L. Welcome back, everyone. Hope you guys had a good day yesterday. Interesting day yesterday. A little bit of up, a little bit of down, but we rejected, right? And on the markets, we'll talk about it for just a second. We rejected the exact level that we needed to hold above, right? We rejected the exact previous day lows. And so, interesting. This morning, we are pushing back higher, back into those previous day lows. But this rejection right here was about as textbook as it gets, right? We had those previous day lows from Friday, and this was just simply a break and retest rejection. So really nice. I mean, that was A-plus textbook analysis there. That was exactly the short watch that you needed to watch for, and it was exactly what we talked about in this live stream, man. We talked about that retest short being the top watch, and that is exactly what happened. The only problem, and really I wouldn't be that surprised if many people didn't catch this, it didn't happen until 5 minutes until close. So that's a little bit annoying, right? It's a little bit annoying that that's how it played out, right? If you took some shorts, midday looking for that fail, you had to stay in that position all afternoon, which is, it's just not great. So unfortunately, it does work out, but I would say it wasn't that good of a trading opportunity. Really, not really, man, because you either needed to be here 5 minutes before close, and even if you swung put options, you'd probably be down on them now because of the morning push. So it's just the games, man. It's the games, right? They didn't let it drop. It didn't drop until 5 minutes before close. And then if you swung the puts looking for that downside continuation, it pops right back in your face. It's just not great. However, in terms of technicals, trading aside, in terms of technicals, it is a clean rejection. So we do need to pay attention to that. And you can see already today, we're starting to fade off that again. So very important there. Yesterday, I traded the longs off 585 on the SPY. And if you guys are part of the group, you know that. That was a sick long yesterday. Pretty much an all-day hold up until our 592 supply. I think I got about 150% on these. This was a sick 585 demand hold. Congrats to those who long that with me yesterday. That was really the trade that I was interested in. I was not going to short into major demand after a gap down on the market, and that was the right call, so I was happy with that. However, like I talked about in that trade, there was an exit point, right? That long here, this is not just an all-day, this is not a forever long, right? This is an exit point, a profit take at previous day lows, and that was the exact perfect rejections or exit spot. So it was a good day yesterday. Very happy with the day. Happy with how I traded it. If you guys were part of the group, you probably saw the cleanliness of the day yesterday, regardless of some of the morning shit show. But anyways, welcome back, guys. Let's get started. If you guys could, we got 1,200 people here. We got 400 likes. That is 1/3 of you pressing the like button. If you could press that like button. 2025 resolution. Your 2025 New Year's resolution should be to press the like button on Desi's live stream. That's it. All right, that's it. That's all you need. Just press the like button on Desi's live stream. That's my 2025 New Year's resolution. All right, let's get started. So, here we go. Today, economic data, 9 o'clock, home price index. Maybe something. I doubt it. But 9 o'clock, home price index, we can keep an eye on that. That's about it for today, guys. Tomorrow, market is closed, so do not expect me here tomorrow. I will be doing something else, relaxing. Thursday, market reopens. Unemployment claims, early morning, 8:30. Friday, ISM manufacturing PMI, okay? Next week is really the first trading week of the year, but we have now, I don't want to laugh about it. Obviously, it's for a good reason. I think the market is now closed January 9th, right? January 9th is now the Carter Day, Jimmy Carter's National Day. So I believe the markets are now closed January 9th. So I really didn't want to be peppered with another market closure day, but it looks like we are, which I guess is great. We get another day off. Rest in peace, Jimmy Carter. So just know that. I don't know what they're going to do with this economic data. They're probably still going to come out with the economic data. The market just may not react to it until Friday. But that's going to be interesting how they do that economic data. But yeah, 8:30, maybe one day the markets will close for me. That's my hope, right? That should be our goal. Our goal in life should be that the markets have a day of silence for you as a trader. That's me. So anyways, let's continue. Nothing on the earnings side. Let's jump straight into the technicals. So, guys, if you're sitting around waiting for the year-to-date P&L, you're going to have to sit through this a little bit. We're going to go through the normal stuff, and we'll save time at the end of the live stream to review the P&Ls. So, here we go. NASDAQ futures, what did we do yesterday? We saw that aggressive drop in the pre-market. The aggressive drop in the pre-market came right back down into the daily 50 SMA. We came down into these previous lows and those previous lows at the daily 50 SMA, and pretty much we just filled the gap, right? We had a pre-market downside move, which basically just filled the gap on the intraday. I'm going to go to the 15-minute chart because I think we want to get a little bit more detailed here and just sort of focus on this short term for now. But here's the 15-minute chart. We can see we had that morning gap down. We had that hold of the daily 50, buyer stepping up, and basically just an all-day push to fill that gap. Nice longs if you were focused on your demand lows. If you were not a late shorts got smoked. And, you know, this is what I was talking about to you guys or to the group yesterday was, right, we're very cautious of longing a gap up, right, guys? When we have a big gap up on the market, I would say 90% of traders are really cautious of that gap and go, right? And they're more cautious and say, all right, I want to pull back before I long a gap up, right? But the problem is, I'd say that percentage, right? Let's say 90% of traders are very aware and pretty good, actually, at being patient on a gap up. They want to pull back. They don't want to long into a gap up, right? They're cautious of that gap being filled, and they don't want to long that move. Makes a lot of sense. Now, I would say a large amount of those traders drop off when it's a gap down, right? Let's say it's more like 50%. I'd say like 50% of traders don't want to short a gap down because they know the logic remains the same, right? If we have a gap down, we probably could push higher and fill that gap before the reversal, right? And I'd say a lot of traders sort of forget that these are the same concepts, right? So when you have a gap down, I think it makes a lot of people very emotional and probably gets them to be late shorts much more than a gap up makes them late longs, right? And so that's pretty much what happened yesterday. I think for a lot of people, you had a gap down, you got maybe some way too aggressive trying to short the continuation, and this thing just sort of pushes higher and fills the gap. That is the same concept of a gap up, and you need to make sure you remember that. I was never interested in a short yesterday unless it was higher. And unfortunately, the short that I was looking for just happened 2 minutes before close, which I'm never going to catch. So we had a nice pop. We had a rejection of the previous all-time high, this general area. Looks like it peaked a little bit higher, and these levels are explainable on the SPY, which we'll get into in a second. But that previous low, general rejection, and again this morning, rejecting. So it is very clear, right? It is very, very clear. What level do we need to hold above? It is about as clear as it can possibly be. You need a bullish flip at 21,514. You have to get this flip right here. If this flip can happen, you can see upside on this market, right, into 2025. That could sort of spark the move into next year. You need to get a bullish flip back above 21,514. That is also the previous all-time high on the market. And you can see how clean the previous all-time high from back in July is respecting on the 15-minute time frame, which is crazy to see, right? So previous lows from Friday of last week turning into rejections right now. If this stays as a rejection, you are going lower, right? This is a downtrending move with lower highs, and if you continue to do that, you are going to stay in this downtrending market. You need to see a flip here at 21,514. If you can get a flip and a close above this level today, that would be a bullish flip in my eyes, and that would make me look for that upside continuation. For now, I think you want to be careful shorting this level. As much as it is a nice short that did sort of show itself yesterday and a nice retest rejection short, if you are going to short it, I think you need to keep it on a very tight leash, right? Because I would only want to short, and you can't really bring it all the way to this level. I would only want to short like 50% of this channel, because as you start to move lower towards these demand lows, the buyers are going to start to step in again, right? And so this short is potential, right? This right here, but it's pretty tight. And I don't know if you want to be that involved in that short, because you are definitely seeing that daily 50 SMA step up. You saw that hold yesterday. You saw it end of day yesterday. You saw it all pre-market. So I'd be a little cautious shorting into this 21,335 low. I would say if you want to look for shorts, I would look for either a break under this daily 50, right? Or I would look for a fail up higher, right? So you'd either look for a break under these lows on the short side, right here. That would be short 1. Or the second short I'd look for is a pop and fade up near that daily 20 and up near these highs here. This would be short number 2 right here. So short 1, short 2. I don't think I'd short this level, right? Because it's too tight of a range right into demand. I don't know if I'm that interested in that short right there. So you got two very clean levels you're trading between this morning, guys. 21,514, 21,335. I'd probably leave this zone alone. It didn't really present many good opportunities here, right, in the after hours, of course. But, of course, that's the after hours. It did present a nice little pop and drop here. So, of course, scalping, very possible. You just, you need to know what you're doing, okay? This is not a beginner type of trade. You need to know what you're doing, right? When I talk about these channels, guys, and I want to make sure I preface this. When I say don't trade within these channels, right, I say this because I talk to, I try to talk to the beginner trader a little bit more to make sure they're, aware of what's going on. An advanced trader, someone that knows these channels, someone that knows what they're doing, they're not really looking for me for, they're just sort of getting some general ideas from me and the levels and the ideas, but they know how to execute themselves. Then yeah, you don't need to listen to me, right? You can, if you want to execute a short between the zone, you can do it, right? It's very nice, but you can't just execute a short here. Oh, Desi, where do I exit? Right? That is not okay. That is not something I would. If you're gonna ask me where to exit, then it's different. Bam! I just explained what that question, right? For a beginner trader that shorts this level and shorts it and thinking that you're gonna get a flush on the market to new lows, that is not the case. Okay, a short here needs to be understood that you are only taking it to maybe like 400, maybe at its most down to 360, and you need to keep a stop loss, right? And you need to keep this risk reward right. That is why that's why I say that these are chop zones to not be aware of, because it doesn't have to go straight down either. It could do this, right? It could do this, right? It could fake out a lot of people, right? And just sort of fuck you up, really. That's right. It doesn't have to just do that. It could be a lot of this, a lot of games, back to the highs, right? Back here, back to the highs. Maybe eventually it comes back down to these lows, but this is not a newbie type of trade, right? It's a much more channel. You need to really be confident in what you're trading. You can't be asking, where do I exit? Where do I enter? That's why I bring up what I bring up, right? So the reason I say that is because if you get a long over 514, that's probably a much more free long and a much more continuation trade that is much easier to manage, right? And if you get a short under the 50 SMA, that's probably a much easier to manage trade and a much more aggressive, sort of continuation trade, right? So be aware of that, right? 21,514, 21,335, tight range, possible trades within, but be aware of the price action. Above that and below that, you get more continuation, okay? So that's that. QQQ. Same exact concepts here. 518 previous lows, right? 518 rejections yesterday to end the day, and again today 518, right? So very nice. 518 to 513 or 515, right? See how tight this range is here? So you got your 518 to 515 here. That is very, very clear. You have your lows that stepped in yesterday. You have your highs from the Friday lows that are rejecting today. You have a 3-point range to start the day on the QQQ. Which side does it get above? Can you hold above 518 for upside, or do you hold it below 515 for downside? That's really, right? I think you can ignore this trade. I don't think you need to trade this. You can if you'd like. Once again, I don't think this is a necessary trade to get involved in. I think you'd be much more interested and much more well off long term by just trading the break and hold above or the break and hold below. This is going to be a more advantageous trade outside of this channel, right? That would be my personal opinion. Now, of course, if you want to get involved inside this channel, look for the 518 fails, look for the 515 holds, right? If you break under that 515, I think there's a very clear reason for us to drop into 510. That's the 50 SMA. That's your next major demand. That is very possible, still a short to be looking for. 515 to 510 is still very possible. If you break over 518 and you hold higher, I'd say you probably start perking up towards this 523, probably towards this daily 20 SMA above. Okay? S&P 500, I mean, this is probably the cleanest of them all, right? This is extremely clean, okay? If you take a look at this chart, the downside structure in the short term is very, very nice. You guys can see right here, we have major lows of that Friday low, right? Very clear. 59.90 lows on that day. It really comes down to around 59.85. It's right around this 5-point range, right? 59.90, 59.85. Bam, previous lows. Guess what? Yesterday, break, retest, rejection. Perfect. That is chef's kiss. Perfect on the S&P 500 yesterday. Unfortunately, they didn't give up until around the last 10 minutes, which sort of sucks. I wish it would have gave up maybe around when it hit it around 1 o'clock. That would have been a beautiful end of day slide around 1 o'clock for the sort of just that V-shaped reversal. But it sort of just stuck around until market close, and then it gave up. Today, I would look for it again, right? Why not? Look for it again. Previous lows into highs. Guess what? We're rejecting it again. So this is actually something I would be very much paying attention to on the S&P 500, maybe some SPX puts, right? Look to see if that rejection plays again. If that rejection plays again, you're likely going to fade into that 59.30 again, right? That's very nice, right? That's very nice. Very clean. So pay attention to that today. I would be very cautious on the long side until that breaks, right? I don't think I would be entering long positions today if we are below this previous day low or previous day high. Just think about it logically, right, guys? I really don't think you want to be entering longs if we are stuck below this high. That is definitely something to be aware of, right? This could be another push and another fail and a drop to the downside, and that's just not going to be a place you want to be exposed to longs right at this supply high. If you can get above this level and hold above this previous day high and start to regain and reclaim this low, that would be your long, right? That would be a beautiful long. That would be just I think that'd be a very aggressive and very strong continuation if you were to see this. Because that's an important flip, right? That is a flip back above yesterday's highs and back above Friday's lows. That is a very strong flip. That is something you should be paying attention to if we get it, right? That could be a nice long back towards this daily 50, back towards that 60-50 high, right? And sort of continue this downtrend breakout would be, an interesting trade. We'll see if that happens. But for now, that is not happening. For now, you are stuck below, and that is very important, okay? I do want to talk a little bit about the demand lows that held because you can't discount those, right? While you can look for this fade at 59.90, which is very clear, right? 59.90, 59.90, 59.90, and again right here, that is a very clear rejection point. You also cannot discount the 59.30, the 59.30, and the 59.30 below, right? So please be aware of that. This is what I'm referring to as in you better know your levels, right? So if you do short this 90, you are only looking for a short into 30, guys. You are not looking for a short, this is the top of the market. I'm short forever, right? That is not how you trade these. Like this is trading between channels. Look how beautiful these trades between channels have been, right? Look at all these. Every single time, it's just channel to channel. Once it breaks it, it goes to the next one. Once it breaks it, it goes to the next one. Once it breaks it, it goes to the next. Once it breaks, it goes to the next, right? And so if you do trade this short, you are only looking for a short into the channel low, channel to channel, level to level, right? So 59.90 short only takes you to 59.30, and that is it, right? And you take that trade, you take that win, you walk away, you look for the next trade. That's how you start building those wins. Rather than shorting here, seeing this out, waiting for this demand, right, to see if it holds, and then it pops back in your face, then you take a loss, right? That is not what you want to be sort of getting yourself into. So 59.90, short that into 59.30 if that rejection comes in today. I would also not discount that 30 demand. If we come back to that 30 demand, that could be another long, guys, right? That is a very strong hold yesterday. That is a strong hold from that Wednesday low. And that is also where that 100 SMA is going to start catching up to, right? This 100 SMA is creeping higher, and that 100 SMA is going to be at 59.30 soon. And that could be a very interesting long at some point here. So I would be watching that 100 SMA. I would be careful, right? I would be careful. And if you look at this chart, it makes a lot of sense. I would be careful shorting the market when you're close to the 100. This has shown you that you don't want to short the market close to the 100 SMA. You want to short it at higher supplies, right? So shorting it up at the 20, beautiful. Shorting it here at the 50, beautiful. You don't really want to short it when it starts entering near that 100, right? So I would want to be looking for pops and fades, right? That's what you look to short in. You don't look to short down towards these demand lows. Look for the pops, look for the fades. Trust the weakness. If you like weakness on the market, look for a pop and understand that it could still fade, right? Pop into 50, reject, fade. Pop into the 20 SMA, start to see rejections up here, fade it, right? That's much more enticing to me than starting to initiate short entries down towards these major demands and down towards this 100 SMA, right? So make sure you're paying attention to that. Make sure you're aware of your levels. Okay. SPY. So the reason I was not shorting yesterday morning, the reason why I actually longed the markets was because of 585. And if you're not aware of 585, then I don't know if you pay attention to the live stream enough, man. We holler and scream 585. We have been for a long time. That was our level back in November. If you guys remember this, we go to the 4-hour chart. If you guys remember back in November where we made all that money trading SPX, guess what? That was off 585. So that $100,000 day, my first $100,000 day on SPX, my first ever 100,000 six-figure day was off of SPX. And guess what that was off of? That was off of 585. This was a long we took here. We woke up and this thing was ripping off 585. That was my biggest trade ever at the time. So that was a previous high turning into support, right? That is a break and retest long. And guess what, right? You're right at that level again. So we cannot discount this 585 area. We cannot just say, oh, I'm short, I don't care about it, right? That is a major previous high. That is a major low here. That is a very important hold from that Wednesday drop. And look at the hold that came in yesterday off this level. Big, big level. Now, guys, it doesn't, the head and shoulder screamers, you need to understand that head and shoulders are not valid until a neckline breaks, okay? The head and shoulders is like the most retail screaming indicator of the world, right? That's what everyone loves to scream head and shoulders. It is possibly a head and shoulder formation, yes. But that is basically like saying it is possibly a bull flag before it actually breaks out, right? It's possible, but we can't just trade off of that. We cannot enter a trade here and hope that it breaks these lows. It's not a way to trade, okay? So I want to make sure you pay attention to this. Yes, head and shoulders, possibly there, possible lower high here. I agree. It is very possible, and I'm not discounting that look, but you can't enter a short position here hoping that it breaks down. You can't do it, right? Because what you're going to expose yourself to is that very clear demand low, possibly holding again, right, and pushing back higher. And then you wonder why you're losing it, right? Why did the head and shoulders not work? Because you haven't gotten that spark. You have not gotten that initiation that it's going to work. And there is a clear as day reason for that head and shoulder to work, and that is a fail back under 585. If we fail back under that 585 and we reject that level, that is a clear as day reason to short this level, right? And that is a very clean neckline break, and that would be the reason to short the market, okay? So wait for it. Don't let the head and shoulder get you all worked up. Just watch 585. That's it. Just watch the key level. That's all you have to do. You don't need to worry about the head and shoulder. You don't need to worry about what's going on up here. Watch the key level. If that key level breaks and you can react to that on the intraday, right, then you can react to the short and react to what's going on. But for now, look, right? Look what happened yesterday. Right there. Look at that hold, right? And look at the all-day push off of it. You cannot short into that level, okay? This is a huge level. This is not a level I would short into. It's got a lot of buying stepping up there. If you break below it, then we all rejoice on the short side, right? And I would be with you, right? I would absolutely look to short that. So if we get that, it's about as clear as can be, right? And I would hope we would all be shorting that move, right? Because that would be really nice. But for now, we need to be on the side of that holding because that's what it's doing, okay? So 585, be careful down here. Big demand holds. Nice hold yesterday. Be careful shorting into it, okay? Now, 595.50 looks like a possible level today, right? You can see right here these holds from yesterday intraday and this rejection pre-market. Possibly a little level today that you could watch, 595.50. Also looks like there was some action down here around 587, right? So I would watch these two levels today. You can see right here a little bit of action at 587 and a little bit of action at this 589.50. Two sort of short-term levels you can pay attention to today. But the upside supply that needs to break is about as clear as can be. 592. 592, major fail here yesterday. Previous lows from Friday, you got to get above it, right? Without a move above this, this is still just a lower high and a potential rejection point, right, to be aware of. So 592, that's the level. Look for the fades off that level today, guys. That could be interesting. Watch this 592 level today. That's big. If you get above 592 and hold it, that's a flip, right? That's a very bullish flip. Back above yesterday's highs and back above Friday's lows. Okay? All right. Drawing tool is called Demo Pro, guys. Demo Pro. DEMO Pro. SMH total sideways action. Still waiting for the outcome of this. Still waiting for the outcome of this. It's crazy that I made that video a month ago today, which is just crazy how time just flies when you're sitting in a channel, man. I made that video back here. Looking for the long off the 200 SMA and the SMH, it has still remained very valid, right? So I can't say that my idea, while it's been throwing, me back and forth in a washing machine basically all month, which is fine, right? Because I sort of knew that I wanted to sort of chill out the last month of the year and just look for a big idea and sort of keep things a little bit light. I have been, staying patient on this idea. It has not worked yet. I've gotten all of the hate right this morning. I've gotten plenty of comments on Instagram telling me that I suck because you've taken your subscribers on a sideways channel, right? This is just the nanosecond traders, right, guys? The nanosecond traders that can't see out of position for more than a day, right? If it doesn't work within 10 minutes, I don't want it, right? That's just I get it, right? That's the human instinct, right? They want it now. They need money now. They need the profit right now. If it doesn't work, if Desi says it today and it doesn't work today, then fuck that guy, right? I need it to work right now, right? That is just going to never work, right? It's never going to work. If that's how your mindset is, you are not going to make it. You need to stay patient. You need to see things out. Sometimes staying patient ends up not working, right? That's possible. SMH doesn't have to work here, but is it still valid? Yes. Is it still holding 200 SMA? Yes. And is there still a potential for the semiconductors to gain strength again? Absolutely, right? But unfortunately for the last month, it stayed pretty sideways, hasn't really done much. Am I still interested? Absolutely. Am I going to start getting concerned because it didn't work in the next day? No. But that's just the story. This is what it is. Anyways, yeah, that was my morning. I woke up to some guy blowing me up on Instagram. I was like, man, it's 7 o'clock. Take it easy. 227 IWM, 215 IWM. You're just stuck in this channel, man. You're stuck in this channel, right? There's nothing here. You can look to trade the channel. You could look to long the lows, right? You can look to short the highs. But I would probably just sort of not even worry about the Russell for the moment. I'd maybe set some alerts, right? Create alert above, create alert below, right? And just sort of make sure you're aware if it does break this channel. But for now, I don't think you want to get worked up inside here, guys. It's just really not that advantageous. So watch the 227, watch the 215. Not much going on there. Dow Jones, pretty nice hold of this Dow Jones 42.5, guys. That's actually quite a nice level now that I zoom out on this, right? Zoom out on this Dow, right? Previous highs, previous highs, previous highs, lows, 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 and lows, right? It's a pretty nice level on the Dow there. That's probably going to be something you want to make sure it holds. 42,500, you can see right here. Look at how this is held this entire period. So 42.5, that's something I would watch on the Dow Jones, okay? All right, guys, let's go ahead and press the like button. What we can do now, before we get into the stocks, is let's go ahead and do the P&L. Let's go ahead and do the P&L. So if you guys could, please press that like button. I'm going to go ahead and log into my brokers here real quick. I'm not going to share my login, okay? That is one thing I will not do. I know you're probably, oh, Desi, show me your login, show me your social security number. Okay, I'm not going to do that, okay? I know you might want me to, but it's not going to happen. So I'm going to log in privately. I need my phone. I need my security codes on my phone. And then we're going to go ahead and check out the P&L. Live. Maybe one of the first of its kind here in front of 2,000 people. And I hope that this proves as a transparency and just a staple, right? A staple, a change in the status quo of the financial, social media nonsense that goes on, right? So hopefully that's what this acts as. Why am I doing this? Just to close out the year. That's it. I just want to close out the year. Let people see it. Close out the year. Don't need to answer to anyone. If they start giving me shit, I say go watch the live stream. That's it. That's why I'm doing it. Right? That's it. All right. Not necessary, I know. I know it's not necessary. But I'm doing it because I like to be transparent, man. That's what I like to do. I like to do it. That is what I enjoy doing. I enjoy being this person. I enjoy showing you guys what's real. It just makes me be able to sleep at night. That's really the truth. I like to be able to sleep at night. I like to be able to talk about things that I actually do. Maybe it's the Italian heritage. Maybe it's just the way I grew up. But that's what I like to do, man. And it is what it is. So here you go, guys. This is my E-Trade. We're going to pull up the E-Trade, and then we're going to pull up the Interactive Brokers. So right now, my year-to-date taxable gains is $498,000. I do have some unrealized losses that I'm still holding. Obviously, you guys know I've been going through the ringer with NVIDIA and Tesla, but I am still holding them. But right now, my realized year-to-date taxable gain is $498,000. I can go to my performance tab. You guys can see that my largest wins were Tesla, SPX, Apple, Netflix, Google, Lululemon, and my largest losses, wait for it, wait for it, really big losses down here. My biggest loss this year was NVIDIA. Monster. NVIDIA losses really stacked up for me, but even with that NVIDIA loss, we've had a great year. Taxable gains of around $498,000. So I'm very happy and pleased with the year. And there you go. That is the E-Trade account. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to pull up the Interactive Brokers. We're going to go year to date. We're going to go to HTML, or I think we can go to PDF. Let's go to PDF. And then let's see if it's going to take a second to, we got to go over here. It's going to take a second to update. So once this turns blue, we'll be able to open it up. Yeah, NVIDIA got me good this year, man. But I still hold, and I still think I can wipe away that loss pretty quickly. I'm not going to lie. Okay, so there we go. There it is. Report being generated. I think I need to pull up the download. Here we go. Here's the PDF. There it is, my friends. So here's the PDF. If we go down to the very bottom, I think it's down here. These are all the trades. Holy shit, that's a lot of trades. My accountant's going to love me. Where's the total number here? Okay, there it is. Total number. Right here. That's my total P&L for the year. 117,000 in IBKR. So 117,000 in IBKR, about 500,000 in E-Trade. We've made about 600K this year trading. Okay? This is my full... I did not just Photoshop this entire webpage, okay? I promise. That's everything. Damn, that's long. A lot of trades. A lot of trades. All right, guys. That's about it. So, that's your P&L for 2024. Let's continue. Let's move on. Great year. Really happy about it. And thank you guys for all the support. And I hope that something I've talked about this year has helped you have a good year as well. That's really the goal, right, man? I'm telling you, to be honest, I get so much satisfaction when someone says, hey, Desi, just had a $30,000 month. This is my biggest month ever. I can't believe it. It's great, man. It's awesome. So, anyways, let's continue. Tesla. So, Diego, appreciate that, brother. And who gave the Jocko gifted subs? Appreciate that, Jocko. Golf game is still pending. I appreciate that, Diego. Hopefully a good year for you as well. God bless. All right. Tesla. Here we go. I'm still long Tesla, and it has been a little bit of a ride, but here's why, and I will talk to you about it. It's been a little bit of a ride, but I still like the trade. So, Tesla, we've talked about this multiple times. You should be very aware of what we're about to talk about. Previous all-time highs, 414.50 and 400. That is a major zone on Tesla, and it is still holding. That 414.50 previous all-time highs is still holding, and I still think that there is a reason to stay long here. Now, there's a little bit of a gamble involved here, right? There's a little bit of a gamble involved here, and that is the fact that, it's around 36,000 in commissions, tenor. I think that was my E-Trade, or my Interactive Brokers, and E-Trade's similar. So I paid a lot in commissions, but that's part of the game. 414.50. There's a little bit of a gamble here, guys. And the fact that the gamble is that we have delivery numbers on Thursday. So you got to decide, are you going to take it through delivery numbers, right? I'm fine with it. My size in Tesla, if it does smack me in the face, so be it. That's all right. I'll take that L. But I'm not going to want to not trust this demand and see delivery numbers come out and this thing shoots back up. I do not want it. I'd rather lose, right? That's how I think in trading. I would rather lose, guys, and me personally. And that's, I think, you got to get to that point where you're okay taking losses, right? I would so much rather lose than see this exact previous all-time high hold, see delivery numbers come out Thursday, and see Tesla back at $500. That would crush me, right? That would crush me. So, yeah, I'm holding. I'm going to hold as long as it's above this previous all-time high. That is going to be the key spot, 414.50. And let's see if that thing can hold up. I never had $1 million in profits. Everyone keeps asking. I had $1 million portfolio. I reached $1 million portfolio. That is what that's what I talked about when I made those posts. It was never $1 million profit. Never. Okay. Hopefully next year. I love how people bring up that, right? It's like, oh, I thought you made, it's like, oh, 500,000. It's just not enough, man. I thought you made $1 million. This is bullshit. 430, right? 430. That's going to be the key break right there. If Tesla can reclaim 430, then I think that would be very nice. Okay? That's what I would look for. If you don't really want to long it and you want a little bit more confirmation here, guys, I would wait for a hold over 430. Right there. Hold over 430. That would be your spot. Okay? So, watch 430. Watch 414.50. you got to get above 430. If you can get back above that level, guys, I do believe that you can trade pretty quickly back into the 447. Okay? Because this was pretty much straight down. Dev, appreciate that, man. So for now, I stay long. As long as Tesla is above 414.50 and that daily 20 SMA, this will always be a long for me at this level. And I need it to get over 430. Okay? All right. NVIDIA. Man, she's showing some signs here that make me interested again. But, of course, NVIDIA has been a tough one to really get this going. But yesterday, very interesting, right? An interesting move that I think you want to at least pay attention to here, guys. 136.50, right? And this previous high right here, actually quite a nice hold right there, right? You see this previous high right there? Look at that hold right there. See that? So I sort of like that. You're back above the daily 20. That's a good higher low that formed there. And I would say as long as you're above 136.50, this is actually trying to create higher lows, which is shocking. Now, NVIDIA, hard to trust. Trust it like your, you guys know the joke I make. Trust it like your third Latina ex-girlfriend. You know, I choose to trust it. I'm that guy that keeps trusting their Latina girlfriends, and I'm going to continue to trust it. So, 136.50, I'm holding strong. I like that hold. I like that hold of 134 yesterday, which was that very clear high right there. And I like the outperformance that you saw on NVIDIA yesterday. Now, of course, you got that end-of-day market tank that, you know, sort of brought NVIDIA with it. But I do like how it maintained this higher low right there at 136.50. So I'm going to look to see if that maintains again today. I still see the potential of this inverse head and shoulder, right? Right there, right there, right there. But like I said with the head and shoulder, guys, it's the same thing, right? Like I said with the head and shoulder, it's the same thing with the inverse head and shoulder. You need to break the neckline, right? It's not going to work until you break the neckline, okay? So you need to break that neckline, right? And you need to get over 142. It's a good look. You can look for it. You can start the game plan for a potential inverse head and shoulder, but the game plan does not get validated until 142 breaks, right? That is clear as can be. So I need that 142 break. You need that 142 break to really get things going. Until then, you're probably just going to get stuck here in this like 136 to 142 zone. Get above that 142, and you probably get some more upside, okay? AMD, it's on its last leg today. This is a must-hold level for AMD. You must hold it, right? 122, 122, 122, right? Right there. Yes, I did, and then I lost money on NVIDIA. There's another comment that I get all the time. Didn't Desi make $700,000 on Tesla? I sure did, and then I lost some money as well. You win, you lose. Overall, net profitable, $500,000, okay? You win, you lose. That's trading. The same thing as someone making $7,000 and going back to $5,000. There is no difference there. If you made $7,000 and you gave back $2,000, I'd say you did pretty well, right? If you make $700 and you gave back $200, I say you did pretty well, right? So it's the law of numbers. It's the same exact thing. AMD, 122, that's a must-hold level. AMD must hold this level. If it does not, this inverse head and shoulder idea totally fails. Back to 116.50, right? Back to 116.50. Right there. Fail under that 122, and you get weakness back to 116. Not great, right? But if you can hold this level and stay alive in this channel, that's pretty good, right? That's pretty good, right? In there. So watch that 122, 123 zone. That's going to be huge. This is a very interesting chart right here, guys, on TSM. This is a very interesting chart here on TSM. I would be watching this very closely. 200 flat and this daily 20 SMA with a very slow-moving and very low-volume downside. This is very intriguing to me. I would be watching this. I'm going to move on because we don't have much time, but I'm not going to go too deep into this. But that is an intriguing watch. Watch that TSM daily 20 and watch that 200 level. That is a very interesting break, sort of consolidation lower, back into demand, and I think the potential of an upside move. I would watch that. 200, it's got to hold. Broadcom, sort of consolidating, not really doing much for you. It looks like this level is sort of irrelevant at this point. It's really not doing much. It looks like 238.50 is a little bit more of a clean spot there. 238.50, right? Clear rejections right there. Clear holds at this 233.50. Just looks stuck in a consolidation. It is making lower highs and sort of lower consolidation, so we could stay weak here. I would look for this 233.50 and this 228.50 right there. Apple, something to watch, right? Because everyone wants to pull back on Apple, but when it pulls back, we start to lose interest in it. Take a look at this Apple, guys. Look at this daily chart. Look at the last time you came back to the daily 20, and look what happened, right? This is interesting. I would be paying attention to this. Another nice pullback to that daily 20. Do you think Apple's going to break this trend and just tank? I'd say that's hard to believe, right? With how much institutional money has come into this stock, right? That is a lot of institutional money, guys. Retail cannot trade Apple from 220 to 260. It's not possible, okay? My little trading account and all of our little trading accounts mean nothing. No matter how much you have, it still means nothing to 17% on Apple, right? That's like billions of dollars. So that is a very big move. Do I think they're just going to tank Apple here after all this money flowed in? Probably not. That would be my assumption. The daily 20 SMA, that is a very interesting spot. I would say maybe some deeper pullback still possible, but I think a long will result from this pullback. 252, and I think my best spot is 249.50 right here. 249.50, that's my favorite spot right there. That would be where I'd look for my next long if we got another little downside towards that level, towards that daily 20. Keep an eye on that spot on Apple, guys. I think very interesting. Amazon. This is a watch. This is another big watch for me. Take a look at this daily chart. This is one of the cleaner daily charts I see out there right now. Right here. Look at this, guys. This is a very clean daily chart, and it's doing the exact same thing it did right here. This is the same exact chart setup. Right here, previous highs. Break above it, retest it, take off, right? Look at that. Now, right here, previous highs. Break above it, retest it, take off. This is very clean. I would be watching this. It's probably my top watch into 2025. I really do believe this is my cleanest daily chart I've seen in terms of structure. Look at that break and retest move, and look at that break and retest potential move here off 216, previous all-time highs. That is a very interesting watch, and I know TB has been watching this as well. Trade Brigade, I think, has been all over this. And I agree with him. This is a very interesting watch on Amazon. And you can see here, look at these wicks under 220. Look at this zone right here. Wick higher, wick higher, wick higher. Basically just saying there is a shitload of sellers in this zone, right? Every time you even get into this zone, you get instantly popped back higher. That is a very interesting watch. I would be long Amazon as long as it's above 216. And I would look for this to return back to the highs. I definitely think I'm going to try to get some exposure to this soon on Amazon. Definitely a watch. Google, yeah, I'd look for that Google 192 hold. I really do. I think I might like that 186 long better, right? Because you have this previous high around 184. You have these lows around 186. You maybe look for like this previous all-time high over here, which is that 192. Which is, you can see what is holding right now, right? See this right here, 192, 192, 192, 192. Maybe Google 192. You got the 20 SMA catching up. So, yeah, I'd say 186 or 192 is going to be your spot. It depends if you want a long with this still sitting on the charts, right? So, did I say sellers? I meant buyers. Shitload of buyers. I don't know if I said sellers or not. 192, 186. Look for the long at those two levels. All right, guys, I'm going to have to run. NASDAQ futures, pretty clean stuff today. We have our very clean levels. Let's see what happens. 21,514, previous all-time highs. You have to break that. If not, you're failing back lower. ES, same exact count. Look how clean this stuff is today, guys. Previous highs here. If you break above this, you're going higher. If you fail it, you're going lower, right? These are very clean levels. SPY, exact same thing. Watch that 592. And on the QQQ, please watch the 518. Very clear failure points here today, guys. You need to get above it to get upside. If not, you are going to stay weak. Thank you guys for all the support this year. Happy New Year. I hope you guys had a great trading year. If you didn't, look forward to 2025. Take the learnings, take the lessons you had, study, work your ass off, right? It's not going to come overnight, but I hope that you take it seriously. Have a fantastic New Year's Eve. Be safe. Don't do anything stupid. Make sure you have all your fingers tomorrow. You need fingers to trade. You do, right? You do need them. That is a must. I don't know how you would trade without fingers. So, don't lose your fingers. These are very valuable. These are $500,000 fingers. So, I don't want to lose these. So, have a fantastic day. Have a fantastic New Year's Eve. Have a fantastic day off tomorrow. Thank you guys for all the support. On Thursday, we'll talk about the giveaway. And I will see you guys in 2025. Peace and love.